Very well, ladies and gentlemen. So we are back with another episode, and in this episode, we are going to talk about some special names. We're going to talk about, of course, Domenico Berardi. Of course, we're going to talk about Dejan Kulusevski. Of course, you've heard these names being linked with Arsenal, but this time the links are a little bit stronger. Of course, before any transfer window begins, we just say that. So, plus there's an international break, so we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. So moving on, before talking about anything, obnoxious, I would want to bring in a special input about Callum Chambers about to leave Arsenal, and so is Mohamed El Neni. Shared that news already about Mohamed El Neni in my community tab. So if you're new to the channel and seek quick and fast updates about Arsenal, subscribe. My community post will definitely help you achieve that goal. So the first news that we have is of course about Dejan Kulusevski. Now, Tottenham want to sign Juventus winger Dejan Kulusevski, but he seems destined for Arsenal for about 30 million euros. 30 million euros. This is according to Sport Witness via Tutto Mercato web. So they say Arsenal might get their player in Dejan Kulusevski. Would you want Dejan Kulusevski at Arsenal? Let me know in the comments. I will definitely be reading them and definitely commenting or giving them a heart for sure. But more importantly, Dejan Kulusevski has been a decider at times for Juventus, but he's completely out of the pecking order. So Massimiliano Allegri is not finding him an important part of his Juventus puzzle. So moving on, so talking about more stuff. So Arsenal legends gathered for the ultimate Arsene Wenger, of course, the movie. So the audience included no other. You can see the images. There's Kolo Toure, there's Jens Lehmann, the Freddie Ljungberg is there, and there's Martin Keown, of course, Ray Parlour is there. So these people came in, and this is the legendary image that you can see. Fantastic. Also, Gianluca Di Marzio says Arsenal have continued to look at the Serie A for potential transfers and have set their sights on Juventus winger Dejan Kulusevski. So, after the whole Dusan Vlahovic thing, would I believe in Gianluca Di Marzio? The guy is reputed, bro. I think he had a very underrated last season, especially with Takehiro Tomiyasu, the transfer window deal. So, of course, why not? Why not? People get wrong at times, but you just can't, act as if they've not done anything. So moving on, so Gabriel Magalhaes shares this wonderful image with Brazilian teammates. He says the caption was, as a kid I always dreamed of moments like this. Representing my country was and always will be in my best dreams, accomplished by being here. Brazil is in yet another cup, and today I'm not watching everything on TV. Gratitude. Of course, this beast of a defender needs to be playing for his country. Of course, man. Of course, every beast that Arsenal that is participating for his country, that is doing it because after performing at Arsenal, they deserve it. And then we move on to Matteo Guendouzi. So Guendouzi on his future, he's opened up. He says, I'm on loan. I'm focused on what I have to do with Olympique Marseille. I want to be part of Olympique Marseille for the long term. I'm very comfortable with Olympique Marseille. I want to continue having fun with Marseille. 3 words. All the best. Well, whenever you're happy, you gotta be there. You gotta be staying where you're happy. That's all I believe in. So let him have fun with Marseille, man. I have nothing against this guy. Fantastic young talent. So moving on, Emil Smith Rowe. Nigel Winterburn has spoken about Emil Smith Rowe. He says, one former Arsenal player he reminds me of is David Rocastle. He was a terrific player, had lovely control of the football, and was a powerful runner with the ball. Smith Rowe is similar in that regard. It's exciting to watch him running at players. I love that too. I mean, his dribbling is, I think it's crazy at times. Moving on, so according to Corriere dello Sport, Roma have been offered the chance to sign Callum Chambers from Arsenal. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Italian publication Corriere dello Sport say that Jose Mourinho viewing that the January window as crucial. It's set to be a particularly busy time for Roma in the transfer market, and they have set their eyes. I mean, Chambers can join. They've not set their eyes on Callum Chambers as such, but Arsenal have offered Roma the chance of signing Chambers. Will they get him? Only time will tell. Moving on, so let's talk about Martin Odegaard on Aubameyang denying his goal. He says, "It was a pity. I saw it nicely from the side. It was going in. I knew as soon as he touched it that he was offside. It was frustrating, but we won. If they had equalized, it would have been tougher. I know, I know. Aubameyang would have been creamed for that offside. Seriously, I mean, Arsenal fans would have really give him a big blasting for that. Moving on, so talking about Genduzi, yeah, we spoke about, yes. So let's talk about big update about Thomas Partey. Now, Ghana FA have confirmed that Partey is not going to play tomorrow. So this is an international break. He was supposed to play for Ghana. So what happened is Arsenal and Ghana, this is from Simon Collins, they say that Arsenal and Ghana being sensible with Partey, not yet called up as groin issue being assessed, unlikely to play versus Ethiopia on Thursday, may play South Africa game on Sunday, still undecided. Still undecided. So yes, it's been confirmed by Ghana that Partey won't play against Ethiopia. Against South Africa, let's see if it's going to be happening or not. We have to see whether it is going to happen or not. So moving on, so Gabriel Martinelli's father has opened up about what Arsenal think about Gabriel Martinelli. Now everyone is thinking, where is Martinelli? Why is he not given chances? His father has something to say. He says, speaking to Esportes in Brazil, João Martinelli says, since he came back from an injury, he's been playing a lot less than he would have liked. There have been proposals from Europe, but Arsenal have already warned they will not release him. So it's pretty much clear. Martinelli is going nowhere. But the question is he getting that game time? Is he going to get that game time? I believe so. When? How? I have no answers for it. So moving on, so Emil Smith-Rowe is ready to play for England according to Gareth Southgate. Here's what he said about him. He says, I think we brought him here to be involved with the team and with a view to being involved in the two matches. He's settled really well. He obviously knows a couple of his club teammates, Phil, from when he was in the under-17s. And this is a group that makes young players and new players very welcome. So it's pretty much clear that Emil is ready. Moving on, so talking about more stuff, well, Southgate, after Smith-Rowe, now this is about Mesut Ozil. Now, he's receiving criticism in Fenerbahce. So, Mesut Ozil has come under fire by Fenerbahce president Ali Koch for not focusing on football enough. He says, yes, Mesut Ozil rightfully wants to play more often. Our manager knows what Mesut can do. Pereira has no prejudices against Mesut. Now he has to focus on his job. He should put aside commercial affairs and concentrate on what he will do for Fenerbahce. We all know what Mesut can do. That's what he did at Arsenal. But if I speak, I am the problem, yeah? Moving on, so it looks like Arsenal get an injury boost against Liverpool. Sadio Mane is injured ahead of Arsenal clash. Now, Sadio Mane has had to be substituted during Senegal's clash with Togo on, Togo, I guess, on Thursday night after just 28 minutes. The extent of the blow is not yet known, but with Arsenal facing the Reds after the international break, Mane may now be a doubt for the clash. That may not happen. Mane is a very strong person. I don't think so. He would be not available for the game. I think it's a joke, to be fair. I think it's a joke. So let's move on with it. Now, I'm not going to believe that Mane is not going to play. It's a joke, I guess. So moving on, let's talk about what Ian Wright has spoken about Aaron Ramsdale. He says, Ramsdale is a phenomenon for Arsenal for what he has done. I'm really pleased that it is turning out to be like it was for him, because when we signed him for £30 million, people were teasing Arsenal saying, how can you sign a goalkeeper that has gone down twice? What I see is a goalkeeper that brings so much to the team, not just like his brilliant, not just his brilliant goalkeeping at the moment, but his attitude and the fact that he's the chest beating. He gets the team going, because I think there are a lot of introverted players at Arsenal, and he is somebody that he keeps Arsenal going. Fantastic to see that, that's the kind of praises coming from an Arsenal legend, Ian Wright. Let me know what do you guys think about Aaron Ramsdale, man. Of course, for me, fantastic player. As I already said, I don't know if many goalkeepers speak like that on the pitch. I've seen some really, leading the pack at the back, but Ramsdale, I think, when you play cricket in India, when you play in a very outskirts or very very small part, in local cricket. You have these some sort of characters who are really vocal during the game, and they try to lift the spirit even though when they're losing. I think it's somewhat like that. I mean, it's a leadership quality. That's all I want to say. With this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one. Until then, cheers.